Welcome to the Amnayalife Podcast. Today we will talk about how imposter syndrome can secretly sabotage your English confidence, even when your skills are strong on the outside. I'm your host, Jack Smith, and I'm here with Lee Xiaoling, who has an incredible story to share about her English learning journey. Xiaoling, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Jack. This topic is actually really personal for me because for such a long time, I thought I was the only one feeling this way.
Here's the big question I want us to dive into. Why is it that so many high-achieving Taiwanese adults who should feel confident speaking English secretly feel like fakes or frauds? What is it about English that triggers this intense sense of not good enough, even when others keep praising you?
That's exactly what I went through, Jack. On paper, I looked confident I'd pass TOEIC with a high score, did presentations in my company, and my friends said my English was great. But inside, every time I spoke up, I felt like I was playing a role. If someone complimented my English, I'd just feel more pressure, like I had to keep up an act. I always worried someone would catch my mistakes and realize I wasn't really fluent.
That's the paradox, right? From the outside, high-level English ability looks like you've made it. But sometimes the better you get, the more pressure you feel, and the more convinced you are that you don't belong or don't deserve your success. It's a psychological trap that can silently block your progress.
Yes, and I kept thinking, maybe I just got lucky, or I was fooling everyone. I started doubting myself at work and turning down opportunities because I was scared of being exposed.
I want listeners to hear this loud and clear. Imposter syndrome isn't a sign of weakness or failure. It's a sign you care deeply about doing well, but it's absolutely possible to escape this trap and own your worth as an English speaker.
If I'd heard that just a year ago, I would have relaxed so much sooner. I hope people listening today realize they're not alone and that it's totally possible to move past this.
And you'll hear from Xiaoling how she went from secretly anxious and self-critical to speaking English with real confidence from the inside out. Before we dive deeper into Xiaoling's story, I want to let you know if you're struggling with the same challenges we're talking about today, there's a free class I've created that breaks down the real reasons blocking your English fluency. You can find the link in the episode description. It's going to show you exactly how to remove these blocks. Okay, Xiaoling, let's get into your story.
Sounds good, Jack. So, I'll set the scene. Around age 34, I landed a manager role in an international company in Taipei. English was the main language in meetings, emails, and project updates. Everyone assumed I was confident, and at first, I tried to act like I was. I'd prepare my presentations for hours, double-check every word, and memorize my talking points. But the truth was, the night before every meeting, I couldn't sleep. I kept imagining someone asking me a question I didn't know how to answer, and that everyone would realize I wasn't as good as they thought.
That's a classic sign of imposter syndrome. It's not about not knowing English, it's about the fear of being unmasked, like somehow you're getting away with something you didn't deserve.
Exactly. I remember one big meeting my boss praised my presentation, but all I could focus on was the one sentence where I stuttered. Afterward, I avoided casual conversations with foreign colleagues at lunch because I worried I'd slip up, use the wrong word, and lose their respect.
What's fascinating is that for a lot of high achievers, compliments can make the anxiety worse, not better. Each success becomes just another high wire to balance on, instead of evidence of expertise.
Yes, I would replay every mistake in my mind for days. The positive feedback never felt real because I was measuring myself by impossible standards.
That chronic self-doubt actually blocks your growth. It keeps you from taking new risks, connecting with people, and showing up as your authentic self in English.
It really does. And the more I tried to hide that anxious side, the bigger it grew. I felt alone and isolated even when surrounded by colleagues.
There's a deep fear there, not just of making a mistake, but of being found out. We create this wall between how others see us and how we see ourselves.
Yes. On a project trip abroad, my colleague asked, "How are you always so calm in meetings?" And I felt like a complete fraud. I wanted to say, "I'm terrified," but just smiled.
That emotional split is exhausting. It's like you're living a double life: public confidence, private panic.
Exactly. My breaking point was when I turned down a chance to lead a cross-regional project, just because I was scared my English wouldn't be perfect every day.
That's the cost of imposter syndrome. It doesn't just keep you quiet. It holds back your entire career and disconnects you from your potential.
After that, I realized I had to change something, or I'd regret it for years.
Let's get into what actually helped you shift. How did you start challenging those beliefs?
The first step was honestly just admitting it. I finally shared with a trusted friend how insecure I felt about my English. She laughed and told me she felt the same way in Mandarin. Suddenly, I saw how universal this fear is.
It's so powerful. Naming the fear shrinks its grip. When you realize you're not alone, it's the first crack in that wall of self-doubt.
After that, I started deliberately doing things that scared me. Asking questions in meetings, chatting with colleagues, even making jokes in English. I forced myself to notice when I got positive reactions and wrote them down. Week by week, I rebuilt my self-image, one step at a time.
That's the turning point, when you stop letting fear decide and you collect real, lived evidence that you do belong in those spaces.
Definitely. My mindset changed from, what if I mess up, to, what if I show who I really am? That made English fun for the first time in years.
What you're describing is a real identity shift, not just a language skill, but a new story about yourself.
Yes, and I found so many colleagues relaxed when I admitted I still made mistakes too. That honesty invited connection instead of distance.
Once you're willing to be seen as human, not perfect, growth and relationships accelerate.
Absolutely. That's when I finally felt like I belonged. So, my first tip: speak up about your fears. Tell a colleague or a friend what you're feeling. You'll be surprised how many people admit they feel the same. It breaks the isolation immediately.
That's brilliant, because hiding fuels imposter syndrome, but honesty brings relief and new support systems.
Exactly. You'll feel lighter and realize you're not the only one.
Openness is contagious and creates stronger connections.
Second tip: keep evidence notes. Every time you handle a meeting, solve a problem, or connect with someone in English, write it down, no matter how small. Reread them when self-doubt creeps in.
That's so practical. Collecting proof of success gradually rewrites how you see yourself.
It kept me grounded and actually made it easier to try new things.
A track record of small wins defeats negative self-talk over time.
Third tip: take intentional risks. Volunteer for a new English task at work, or join a discussion you'd normally shy away from, even if it feels scary.
Stepping into discomfort on purpose is what shatters imposter syndrome for good.
Yes, you'll see that the world won't end just because you make a mistake.
In fact, you'll probably get more respect for your willingness to grow. Chia Ling, you turned imposter syndrome from a silent weight into a source of courage and connection. That's powerful.
Thank you, Jack. I really hope listeners trust their strengths, not just their doubts.
Your value isn't measured by being perfect, it's how you show up. Learn and support others along the way.
Every time you choose growth over fear, your confidence expands.
Chia Ling, thank you so much for being here today and sharing your story with us. I know our listeners are going to find so much value in what you've shared.
Thank you for having me, Jack. I hope my experience helps someone out there.
I'm sure it will. And to everyone listening, if you want to discover the real reasons that are blocking you from speaking English fluently, click the link in this episode to watch a free class that will show you how to remove these blocks.